On behalf of all the instructors and staff here at Mastery Martial Arts, welcome to your family's first martial arts experience. It's our goal today to find out how we might be of some service to your family. But before your experience begins, we'd like to share a short story with you. It's a story that is at the heart of our martial arts school's philosophy. It's also a story which we hope will help you think about your family's future in a meaningful way. A woman stands in front of her family's home. It's early morning, and as she looks up at the sky, she sees the sun rising, shining brightly through the trees. She crosses her arms in the cool air, but it's more than the morning chill that makes her draw her arms closer. Standing by the driveway, she knows that this day has been coming for a long time. But that doesn't make it any easier. A car backs out of the driveway. It's time. As she watches the car move slowly in reverse, she takes a long look at the driver. Seems to her that it was only a few days ago that the person behind the wheel was just learning to ride a bike and would run into the house with a smiling little face and the bright, curious eyes that always made her so happy to be a mom. Now those same eyes look back at her from behind the steering wheel. All grown up, or trying hard to be. The car finishes backing out into the street, then shifts into gear and begins to pull forward, carrying this young adult in a journey out into the world. As the woman looks on, her heart pounds and her eyes begin to fill with tears. Blinking in the sunlight, she watches the car drive away and start to pick up speed. Then one more memory is made. The car's window rolls down. Her child's arm appears, rises up, and waves back at the mother who gave all. A final thank you. The mother smiles back, waving her own hand goodbye. As she sees the car get smaller and smaller in the distance, she wonders if every parent feels this way when a child leaves home. The taillights finally disappear, and she understands that it's done. Deep down inside, she knows that there will always be holidays and summer visits. She knows that this is a new beginning. But she also knows in her heart that her life as a parent will never be the same. She hopes that everything she did and everything she said will be enough. The world is a big place, she thinks to herself, but I know I did all that I could. With a sweet smile, the mother walks back inside. Do you relate to this story? Can you imagine yourself one day in that very same position, watching your child drive out into the world? When this day comes, you're probably going to want the knowledge that you've taken every possible precaution to prepare your child for the road ahead. Isn't it also likely that you'll want the peace of mind that you've given your child every advantage they can possibly have? Now, here's something good for you to think about. If you're watching this message and hearing these words, you're already in the top ranks of parents in this country. Why? Because unlike many parents who simply talk, worry, or complain about the issues facing children today, you're here doing something about it. In addition to that, there is another factor that should make you proud to be here with your child. It's an important one. According to recent surveys, children whose parents actively support them in their physical activities grow up with a different level of self-esteem than most other children do. Parental involvement leads to higher self-esteem, more confidence, healthier bodies, even better grades. With higher self-esteem, children are armed with a powerful protection to avoid negative and harmful peer pressure. Higher self-esteem also provides children with a strong inner defense against future dangers facing so many teenagers today. In fact, children with high self-esteem are less likely to suffer from depression, addiction, or even worse tragedies when they get older. Here's why this is critical. Risks can be avoided, but for most of us, there are some things too painful to even think about. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to briefly put some thought on the worst-case scenario. Tragedies happen. It's not fair, but it's a reality for far too many young people. Do you know what are the 3 most common causes of death for young people ages 15 to 19? Car accidents, homicide, suicide. No one wants to think about such things. Our highest level of support goes out to those families who have been affected by these terrible events. But the threat posed by all 3 of these tragedies can be greatly reduced or avoided. Because, in many cases, all 3 involve some social factor, like choosing the right peer groups, understanding consequences, and having respect for the boundaries set by parents, teachers, and other authority figures. Isn't it better to face risks with courage and an open mind? A wise man once said, "There are 2 types of pain in life, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons." Doesn't it make sense to investigate simple, proven steps that you can take to protect your family now? One powerful step you are already taking is your involvement today in the support of your child's efforts. This kind of support goes a long way to developing your child's lifelong habit of setting and achieving goals. So it's in this area where we'd like to find out if we can be of service to you. Over the next few minutes, you'll watch as a Mastery Certified instructor guides your child through a carefully planned curriculum designed with one single purpose in mind: to inspire your child's true potential. By combining a unique series of physical techniques, life skills lessons, and good old-fashioned exercise, we make learning fun. Throughout your child's first black belt lesson, you will see the positive effect that this activity has on a child's growth, improving the ability to focus and pay attention for better grades, improving physical fitness, strength, balance, and coordination, and developing true inner strength. But even though we've seen the Mastery martial arts experience work wonders for literally thousands of children, we also know that each child is unique. We've learned that every family who comes to Mastery has their own unique story. So we feel that your child is special and deserving of our full attention as we learn about your needs, desires, and the goals you have for your family. Since we've had the unique privilege of working with families in virtually every stage of life, we've seen firsthand what works and what doesn't when it comes to helping children develop in a positive manner. Through all this experience, we've developed a pretty great process for helping parents get clear about how they would like their children to excel today and into the future. Even though it only takes a few minutes, this enjoyable process can help you get really clear about how you'd like to see your child develop as they grow. Just like the mom in that story, The day will come when you too will watch the taillights disappear. When that day arrives, who will your child have grown to become? The process you're about to see will combine your child's potential for success with your natural strengths as a parent to guide your child to become a leader, not a follower. That's why we call it the Family Leadership Discovery Process. In just 4 steps, you'll experience much greater clarity and sense of purpose about the direction your child is going. In short, it's a great tool for building a map towards a bigger, brighter future. And when you're done, your child will begin a personal class with your Mastery Certified instructor. Then upon completion of the lesson, I'll see you back here to show you how the different Mastery programs work. At that point, if it looks like your family is a good fit for our school, I'll show you how to get your child started today. Enjoy your Mastery experience. The first step in the Family Leadership Development Discovery process is vision. Imagine that you're sitting here one day in the future, a day where your child is 3 years older than they are right now. If you were to describe 3 positive aspects of your child's behavior at this age, this ideal future, what would they be? Please write down your answers in the form provided. Step 2 is to consider the dangers. As your child grows toward their ideal future, what are some of the dangers or threats that could prevent this growth from happening? In other words, what worries you most? This might be individual challenges facing your child right now, or possibly something that could happen later on in their life. Again, please write down your answers in the form provided. The third step is opportunities. If your child did not have to worry about those dangers or threats, what kind of opportunities would be available to them? Think about your child's health and emotions. Consider school grades, athletics, social situations, and home environment. And again, please write down your answers in the form provided. And finally, we come to strengths. As your child is growing towards their ideal future, what are the strengths that you have as a parent that will be critically important in making this happen? What makes you a great parent? In addition, who else plays a role that will be important in the positive influence of your child's growth? And again, please write down your answers in the form provided. Congratulations! You have successfully completed the Family Leadership Discovery process, which will help us in guiding your child towards their ideal future. Now, it's time for the first black belt lesson. Please take a moment to turn off your cell phone and have your child remove their shoes in preparation for their lesson. Enjoy the class, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes.